Coming off of a hard-fought victory from the Glazers here in the VALORANT Challengers North America Open Qualifiers. They sit one map away from making it to VCL. Tenrek and Marks here to bring you map number 2 of our penultimate match of the Open Qualifier bracket number 1. Marks, it was a very hard-fought victory for the Glazers, but they were barely able to extend and get the job done just enough times. It came down to that last defensive win that finally brought them over the line, and you know, sitting on top of their own pick of Breeze that we're walking into, they feel very good.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to see some of those replays soon, and I'm going to be honest with you, Tenrek, if you just take a look at the replays, the clips are probably going to be mostly Son of Card just kind of popping off. Riku was probably in there too. That was Riku was also doing a pretty fantastic job, but what a just back and forth between these two teams onto Icebox. Of course, this was Elite's map pick, but of course the Glazers were able to walk out of it, but there were multiple times where Son of Card just completely clutched up the round. Of course, as well, Luigi has been honestly doing pretty well, but my biggest surprise was actually seeing the impact that Riku had on the Glazers on just making sure to clutch up some of those tighter rounds.
Yeah, it's so true. Their ability to just hold down those angles whenever necessary, just be able to breathe and let go and take on whatever's in front of them. You know, it was a battle of endurance for both of these sides, and they look really solid. That this is two very coordinated groups walking into a map that is very uncoordinated. So, you know, coming off of Icebox, a map in which, you know, mechanics are everything, you know, coming into a map where positioning means so much more, it's going to be like night and day.
Yeah, and of course, too, we're able to see right now, basically Son of Card getting 2 aces in overtime. Just insanity.
Ridiculous.
But the Glazers just kind of walked into it, and there were so many of you could tell that this was just such a scrappy map. And of course, in overtime, the Glazers are going to be able to win 16-14 and just squeeze by. And so we do find ourselves, or sorry, Elite find themselves a map down. And once again, one of these teams is going to be able to secure their spot into Challengers.
It's true. And again, with the Glazers just one map away, especially after dropping to YFP in the winner's bracket, they've got to feel good. There's Riku at the top of the kill feed for the Glazers. Very even Stevens across the whole scoreboard, but I mean, obviously Carr does definitely stand out, maybe just a little bit with a 40-18. I mean, again, God, 354 ACS. Are you joking me right now, man? That is unreal.
It's crazy. And on top of that, too, I mean, the next highest fragger on the team is Fireball with 22 kills. That's almost half the amount that Carr was able to pick up on that map. But at the same time, like, overall, the Glazers, I think, in the level of team cohesion and making sure that they are consistent in their gameplay, I think that they had the edge walking into that first map. Like I commented on, I expected them to be a little bit more flexible, whereas we're going to be seeing Elite just do the same thing over and over and over again. And making sure that you have a very consistent 5-stack is an excellent way to make sure that, hey, one person goes down, not the end of the world, we can still win out these rounds, and that's ultimately why they squeaked away with the victory.
And that may be why they continue to squeak away in Breeze, which will, again, I think, be a very close map that we will head into. I don't think that Glazers have a full lockdown over every wide angle. I think Elite will be able to counter-aggress a lot of the time with those pushes back, especially from CT. They feel very comfortable on those defenses. I'm not entirely sure if that's where we're starting from, though. Yes, okay, so Elite will be starting on defense. They did elect to start there. So the question's got to be, I mean, what angles are we holding first? Because that's been such a crucial point in developing those first bloods and figuring out where exactly we're going to trailblaze.
Yeah, and on top of that too, when we take a look at just kind of like the amount of times that Breeze has been played in the map pools, Elite in this tournament have only played Breeze twice, and they haven't won once. As a matter of fact, things have not looked very good for them. So I 100% expect that this is just the Glazers being like, we have identified what one of your weakest maps are. We're going to force you to play it. And the fact that they're able to scoop up Icebox, I mean, if you're Elite, you got to have something planned for this. Otherwise, the Glazers going to just run all over you.
Yeah, you got to have a game plan, and you've got to execute it quickly. This defense has to be really monumental for Elite, I think, if they want to survive in this tournament any longer than 2 maps. Because you got to remember, after this, we've got to take it even farther. We've got to take it to Lotus after the fact if Elite even takes this away. So their work certainly cut out for them, and it's against a Glazer squad that is just so hungry, and not just for donuts. They really want this win. These are 5 players who have always been itching to get into VCL. I think one of them has occasionally sniffed it, but really this would be a breakout performance for all 5 of them.
Yeah, 100%. And on top of that, too, you know, you swing things around onto Elite's side of things. Mostly kind of more unknown players. They put their squad together and are taking a genuine run at Open Qualifiers right now. And that would be a crazy thing if they're actually able to make their way into Challengers. But let's go into Breeze. I am so curious to see what these lineups are going to be. And look at that. We're going to be treated to a little bit of the Son of Car Jet on this map.
Yeah, I'm unsurprised, really. I think that this is the comp that Leet needs to go with, and I'm a little bit surprised, actually, that the Sky has been swapped in from the Sova on the side of the Glazers. That is an interesting swap to let go of, especially with the recent changes. Drone definitely feels capable with these birds. Clearly, they spot a weakness in Leet, and that is the lack of flashes that they worked with before. Obviously, Yeji will have those now, but they clearly want to make these entries as bombastic as they did on Icebox. They think they can rinse and repeat, and I respect the vision.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like I think that the additional flash pressure, especially on a map like Breeze where it's just kind of all opened up, you throw that guiding light up into the air, you pop it, you're probably going to get something. And I think that they're going to be really heavily relying on that as well as the pop flashes from the KO to be able to just move in more effectively. Because the reason why you get a Sova is that when you go in onto the site after your smokes have been placed down, you know exactly where to look and you could use the rest of the utility to flush out the other corners, but that's not going to be available. So you know, the Glazers, bombastic gameplay and potentially landing their spots in Challengers if they do win this map.
And it'll start here on B site. Toxic screen set up already. Glazers, they are willing to make themselves known. That's not necessarily the problem. The problem's getting on. And Leet, once again, is happy to let them. They'll play for the hard rotates with this composition. It feels a little bit appropriate, especially considering that they have that Sova. They want to play not for the preliminary info, but for when the Glazers are packed, when they feel comfortable, they want to flip the script. But they don't know that yet, which is why Glazers are still taking their sweet time hopping on. They'll spot out this camera pretty quickly, get rid of it, and maybe scope out a little bit farther, but in doing so, they've extended through elbow, through mid, over to A doors, which is currently unoccupied, as the rest of Leet has swarmed down to T. Now, who is watching this? Currently nobody, but the question is, are you able to hunt down anybody in time? This looks proper. Glazers will search back, and Zachary starts getting hit quite a bit. Drone will turn their head next, and he will be the next to say that there is far too much in front of them. So the question comes, who will aggress next? In fact, it's the players from B main. They'll swarm back onto Mamiji, and so the entire defense is starting to crumble now. So Yeji and Fireball go for the crunch back onto mid. They will make it work. Eyes for eyes, 3v3, and what a weird backseat we've taken. Look at Riku heading all the way back to T, as the rest of the Glazers will make their way onto B site with the help of the screen.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I guess Leet just decided to go with the sandwich strategy. 3 people up top, 2 on bottom, and squish them in and hopefully hope for the best. But the Glazers, they're able to walk out pretty well, and now Riku in such a great position. I imagine at this point, Leet, they have to just group up and try and play to their guns. Thankfully, they will have the knife available and 1 Cypher camera, but pretty much everything else has been expended.
Poking their head out of the sand first. Riku unchecked, but no shots landed. Drone will finish off Yeji. That's the easy part. Pyro on this Sheriff is the dangerous part, providing the cover fire. Catching Fireball first, wasting the time on the spike, but can't do it forever. Fireball holding it down, and Pyro can't land it. Drone will finalize and grab the round for the Glazers.
There we go. Hey, you said that Sky was going to be a little bit of an issue? Nah, Sky's totally fine. Okay, obviously it does have nothing to do with the actual utility that was tossed out there, but an excellent little microplay coming in from a drone. Just really making sure. It was a good idea from Pyro. Body block it. Hey, that way the bullets can't do as much damage, but ultimately just getting the bad timing onto that reload with the Sheriff. And it all starts to fall apart, so the Glazers win out that round, and this is just very interesting Viper Wall placement from Leet. They actually opt to cut the site in half themselves, potentially slow down some of that information. Unconventional at its finest, but let's see how it plays out, Connor.
It's gonna be immediate here. Zachary now on the jet is gonna immediately find the picks and just go absolutely wild. Precision the swing back after Zachary's a bit low on the bullets, and so Glazers are able to cover for each other pretty easily here. Will you lose any other... Will you even lose any more health here? I don't even know. Momiji does not have much to throw at this. Just a snake bite. Now that that screen is gone, may just have to play for exits at this stage. And does hear Riku for one, but they are going to find it. Flawless round 2 here for Glazers.
Yeah, and that looks so clean. I mean, Zachary on the Jet, fantastic stuff. Previously in his career, Zachary has been pretty much playing that duelist, and so it's kind of nice to see that come back into play. And wow, just you could just tell Elite, they don't look like they're very practiced on the defense there. Of course, that was just another round where they didn't really have, but we're seeing completely new stuff come out from them. Usually they do push up out that defense. They try and take a little bit of space, but they just look so uncomfortable doing so. And as a result, the Glazers have just been kind of taking as much space as they want, moving in wherever they want to, and it's been more or less uncontested already. Trade right off the bat.
Yeji will have to back out, though. Doesn't know how much more presence is on all here and doesn't want to chance more than 1v. So instead, we'll just give the rest over to Zachary, as this Toxic Orb will get him up to the door. The split push for Glazers looks pretty solid here. This is a good bluff that they might go for, or maybe just the lurk in CT, but regardless, they'll still have to infiltrate, and this trap wire is going to stop them to an extent. Yeji, the first hold, and that means that Momiji might get activated here. No, Yeji's just going to hop back out. Knife will confirm the presence. Oh, and Fireball's going to be able to spot this entry from Archway. Glazers have to restrat. They'll actually meet back up near Shoot here and enter through doors. Might just be a 4-stack up this way, especially now that doors back opened up. They can take steps back. And it looks like they'll try and take a second push through doors as well. They're just going to make it all work from the same lineup. And with nobody watching it, that isn't really against the rules here. Oh, Pyro can't finish it. That's too much time wasted. Glazers have it all and can play from the pyramids now. Yeji is distraction for Fireball to fire from Orange, but can you get any more? No, Riku has the lockdown, and Yeji is all alone. Good for 1 here. Just has to find Ange and Drone, but what a hold from this Viper that you have to clear first, and it only takes 1 shot. Wow, what a round 3 here from the Glazers.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like, the dynamicism, that's a hard word to say, but they're playing very dynamically. That's great. Okay, we got there.
Yeah, you did.
But they're playing very dynamically. You know, they are going one way, immediately they kind of get caught, cool their heads off a little bit and say, okay, what do we want to do now? And you see that rotation come back around A side. Meanwhile, Elite, they're a little bit slower on the uptake. Of course, Car going down first is not how you want to start out those rounds, but it just left so many gaps open that the Glazers could pretty easily just kind of walk in onto site and secure the kills that they needed to do, making that such an unwinnable scenario for Elite. And now, just like that, the Glazers, they've got a lot of weapons here moving into this next one, and such an excellent flash. Zachary, yet again, able to find that opening kill.
Oh, and now flying out from elbow. Ange actually can't, or Riku can't actually finish. So Elite still have the holds from the backside. Oh, Pyro, huge entry from Cave here. Can somehow finish Zachary. That is massive for Elite. And now they'll be able to kind of re-enter these off-angle entries. Seekers are going to get let fly from Drone here, just to confirm that nobody's too close for comfort. And I'll let Car know that it's time to back away again and play the long game, as there's still 50 seconds on the clock. They don't want to let go of too much. And it looks like they'll play the middle ground, just wait for the rotation again. Seems like really one of the only things you can do. Car, though, is hungry yet again, back in the mid, looking to see if can find something from beyond the logs. Still may look. Precision has to check this. So Pyro, bad timing that Drone can capitalize on, and that may be the last straw. Son of Car. Oh, you can wallbang the knife. I didn't think about that. That's great. Wow, well done. Dog is going to confirm the position there, so Car is just going to get kind of locked out of doors here. Might go for it, though. Has an updraft. I mean, why not at this point? Maybe look for 1. Bird's going to confirm again. Yeah, this is all just consolation here. As he'll enter, get flashed, and find nothing. 4 now for Glazers.
Yep, and on top of that too, like, it's just, it feels so easy for the Glazers right now. And on top of that too, who opened up halls again, man? It's just so many avenues available again. Oh man, it's just another thing you really have to watch for on that defense. But it all is falling apart for Elite. We talked about this on previous maps. When they are put together, strong. When they one by one not as strong. And it feels like right now on Breeze, they're getting forced to consistently split up. There's just so much ground to cover on this map that they're never really able to get that 5 stack because it just takes so much time to maneuver around the map. And the Glazers have been doing a fantastic job of just taking control of all of these little nooks and crannies. As a result, like, what made them unique on the previous maps that pretty much guaranteed them up until this point, they're not able to really pull out of that playbook. They're not confident in pushing up anymore. They're not confident in taking that map space and setting up these drastic flanks. It's so much more difficult for them to get a foothold in this map thus far.
But now with an op on the table, it might be a little bit easier. Fireball, great early long shot here to take care of Riku. And just covering their tracks, excuse me. And, oh, good entry by Ange. That's a perfect double swing. Watch out for Momiji, though. Good twofer to keep things even Stevens for the most part. At least they take the site, but that's never out of the question. This is where Elite finds their strength. And Owl Drone will confirm nobody in backside. They've got to play for the long haul here, but that's why Ange is lurking around courtyard, waiting for the perfect moment. And Carr is not going to be able to spot this. Oh, coming in through elbow. They're going to hear it, and Son of Carr can line it up! A death sentence handed very quickly. And now Precision has got to be even quicker. I think Pyro can just hold this. This might be a done deal. Oh yeah, that's donezo. There's your round, Elite. Finally on the board, and they do it with 3 standing.
Oh, Valorant timing striketh yet again. Just unfortunate. As soon as you can tell that Andrew's like, okay, this is probably clear. I just need to get into this long position. Thankfully, because this map is so open, I can just walk around and it will be fine, but gives the information up, and Son of Carr gonna be good for it with the operator in hand. And now, as well, this shows to Glazers Son of Carr does have that operator in hand, so they need to play with a little bit more respect if they want to be able to continue to win these rounds. A lot of ultimates online right now for Elite. Hunter's Fury, as well as that null command, could be pretty instrumental. But of course, Precision having a null command of their own. Son of Carr immediately going in and finds the head of Ange. That is an excellent first pick.
So massive. And back away like nothing happened. Yeah, I mean, what do you do now if you're Glazers? How do you even get in? You have nothing here. You have to rely on a lurk. And Riku can't really get much done initially here. We'll actually get a good entry from Doors. Oh, do you skirt the drone here? Oh, maybe with enough time. Yes! Pyro still goes down and is going to be able to get the ultimate off to guarantee that the other 2 are here. But it'll still prompt the rotation from Glazers. There's just too much presence at this stage to let go of it. And so, Elite have to hold on to Bridge instead. Huge flash that'll let Zachary get the kill onto Fireball too. It all comes together now. And so Carr has to do a lot of the heavy lifting until Momiji comes screaming on back. And honestly, at that stage, there might just not be enough time. Indeed, Glazers will make it 5 here.
Yeah, the Glazers, they win out that round, and now we're going to be actually seeing them go out for the hunt. Obviously, if they can drop that operator, that is a huge thorn in their side, completely just removed. And that's what they're hoping for right now. I really got to say, Riku has been very much impressing me, just with such a small microplay. Then on top of that, having the neural theft ready to go, it just works out so well for them. But I think that Elite have a pretty good job, or are going to be able to hold on to their weapons, given the fact they've also got this Viper's wall to just hide behind.
Yeah, they should be fine here. As long as they just don't pop out from it, they should be fine.
Be smart, be safe.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're chilling, and so able to hold on to some good guns here to at least stay intact this deep into the defending half. But so far, Glazers' coordination looks stable enough, and I mean, do you really expect any less on the Breeze attack? This is kind of par for the course so far. It'll come down to those last 3 or 4 rounds, I think, more than anything else, where Elite will really start to be able to understand at what points Glazers really decide to attack and off of what pieces of util they really decide to transform off of. But for now, they kind of just have to get those reads off the fly, and it's a lot tougher. It's much easier said than done. Now with that null command, though, it's a little tough to get back inside. Pyro immediately tossing that Hunter's Fury into main as well to kind of throw them off, but the rest of Glazers will duck back, and so not really too much damage done as of yet, but at the very least, Elite has these sightlines pretty locked in, so Glazers think they're more capable of maybe taking over a different angle, or at least giving the illusion of one, but we'll see if they try and take back main. It looks like they really want to try to. No immediate entryway with this Jet now, though. Zachary does not have anything in the kit, so you have to use this flash, and that's already so much investment as well to a position you're not even entirely sure about. Car's not even going to get caught by this knife, and Momiji doesn't even need any util to get everything done themselves. 3 kills for the Viper, but Ange is on site, and Ange can beat Car, so it's still a 2v3 that Riku is lurking quite well in here on Nest, but the camera has to get destroyed. We'll confirm the position, so they'll come back over to Archway, and so the pit has to get tossed in as well. Glazers need every inch of security they can get here because Riku's position is still very much confirmed. Is able to skirt Fireball, and now the toxic screen can let them come wide. Pyro may not be prepared for this. Everyone has to be prepared for this huge flash that Riku just turns into. Only good for one, though. So Ange's pit play has to be perfect. No, Yeji watching, ready for that specific movement. And so Elite will find a second.
Wow. On top of that too, like, I really just want to commend the use of Pyro's Hunter's Fury. Felt very early, but right off the bat, it nullifies the ultimate that was used, namely Precision's null command. And that was just like, you could tell, like, the Glazers, they were ready to move in there and just completely had to backpedal, allowing Momiji to be able to set up, toss down the snakebite, and then just spray them down. And that really just sealed the deal on that round. As Lee, you know, Sonic Car, sure, has been fragging out in overall this tournament, but not a necessity. The rest of the squad ready to pick up on some of that slack when it happens. And this map is demonstrating that to a T.
So can it continue? They have all the tools at their disposal too, including that Viper's Pit, which they'll let go of immediately. And Glazers attempting to find something initially here. We'll just fire a little bit into the fray. Do they want to challenge this? I wouldn't be too surprised if they try to, but already so much control taken from Hall too. Is it even? Oh, man. Okay, there you go. Wow, the 2v1 is much easier, I guess, in practice than on paper here for Glazers. Viper's Pit's gone, Cave presence is gone, and Precision is a little pressured by the fragment. Has to be flushed out by Yeji here, and so big defensive presence on Hall could be the thing that gets Elite over the line this round. Only one head spotted so far. Riku, though, insane lurk. Everyone found. How many kills can you get here? Only one. Not the best timing, but you'll take what you can get when you can get it. Huge flash on Yeji's entry. That is perfect timing that Zachary is able to collapse back on top of Glazers. Keep it locked and loaded on every angle necessary, and they'll make it 6.
Man, they're doing such a good job at just, you know, spreading out and taking up a lot of this space. Elite feel like the type of team that, like, they've got a one-track mind and they do the thing that they do extremely well, right? But when they get flanked like that, it just kind of throws them off even more, and it allows for these positions to be taken up by the Glazers. They think, oh, we got one over there. Okay, we should be good. Let's focus all of our attention onto the site. Get ready for that retake yet again. Not expecting that Zachary has already made their way around. It's that level of just map control right now we're seeing from the Glazers be such a huge difference. And Riku right off the bat spots out 2 here. Unaware that Momiji's on the other side, but makes quick work of that one. Both cyber cages expended, but at least that is the Vipers down. As Leet are exploring a little bit. Son of Car actually does have a little bit of a weapon, but Precision caught off guard.
Good start here. That's, oh, Fireball, wow. Great long shot. And Glazers are all of a sudden up a creek without a paddle. They are stuck here in courtyard. They have to find an opening. Pick, there's one. Fireball gone. B-site open for business. The Glazers will now use this to take care of the rest of B-site. And guarantee these last 2. Yeah, that's, that might finalize it, honestly. Riku's just gonna try and get this done themselves.
What?
Wow, Yeji, okay. So it's just down to Zachary now.
I got the spike.
As we'll tap it once, just try to force clap back early on, but good time wasted by Elite here. Is Zach gonna take this fight? Oh my god, he's gonna try. But everyone else from Elite has already gone back to main. They were ready for this plan instead. Zach is instead going back to CT. Are you gonna plant? Okay, well now he sees one on main. Gonna probably plant behind the column
10
then.
seconds left.
Oh no, another tap. They're just gonna let them come in, Pyro! Whew, sweating their boots off, but Leet will make it 3.
Okay, I mean, Leet, they're starting to pull it back a little bit. It looked, I don't want to say disastrous, but it wasn't looking that great. But now they're kind of just playing similar to how the Glazers are. They're being a little bit more exploratory, and I think that they're being rewarded for it. They're kind of catching them on these weird off angles, taking up a lot of space, finding excellent timings on just when to swing things around, and I want to give them credit for it. Usually this is a team that they will 5-man rush their way in onto a site and life will be good. But not necessarily the case this time. They're spreading out and able to find it, but Sunakar not able to secure that first kill. It does take a couple of bullets, but Riku actually finds Fireball there, Tenrek. Excellent first pick.
Orbit orb emitting.
Oh, Ange doesn't know that Yeji's still here.
No.
That should be the easy pick off. What more can you do here, though? I mean, this is already so locked down.
And,
Okay. So that's 1 half gone. Glazers still have the rest of the site, though, and they've taken backline, too. They want to make sure Elite doesn't feel comfortable in their original positions. They want to force them to do a lot of the moving, and Momiji, admittedly, is kind of taking that bait, but it's so they can grab a crossfire here. Yeji's going to sacrifice a flash just to allow some extra time. And now here comes the fragment to hopefully flush one out from the pyramids, but it's on the wrong angle. That's what Momiji is there for. Precision not watching, and so now you know that one's from cave, and the other's from doors, so Zachary is pretty safe. What a flick. 1v2 looks pretty impossible here, especially with the time you've got. Momiji has to play against so much here. Dog first, then Drone, then Zach. It's all crashing down. Momiji is half-lit crouching on Spike to make it look like he's defusing, but yeah, no time left. Zachary's going to be able to finalize, and Glazers will make it 7-3.
I mean, these are a lot closer, though, than what we were seeing earlier in the thing, and it almost feels like a team deathmatch going on, where everyone is just kind of scattered around the map, and then they're just trying to win out these individual 1v1s. At least that has been kind of the tale of these last 3 rounds. And so moving forwards here, I gotta wonder, how does Leet start to adapt themselves? Because they can't afford this back and forth like the Glazers can afford. I mean, they're coming into this next one. Both of the economies not looking fantastic. A couple of ultimates at least available for Leet. But they gotta start pulling their weight a little bit more. Otherwise, the Glazers in a war of attrition, 1-for-1, they're gonna reach 13 first.
Yeah, so far so clean. Ooh, never mind. Never mind.
Oh no.
Precision, double teamed. They make it work. Now we fall back to Zachary, no, to Riku, who also can't make an impact. And Pyro has been untouched, but can't land the shots. Zachary and Drone now on their tears, and they've got to repair things. Look at this angle from Carr, still looking for it. And Zachary is still checking. Oh, but that neural theft is going to give it away. So Carr is able to remain a little more stable from wherever they'll rotate to. Yeji, this early hold, good for 1. So they keep it, again, pretty stable. But now you have to split yourself apart again until this rotation's confirmed. It is by Fireball, who will try to stay alive as long as possible, maybe find the off angle. Oh, Carr can do it for them. And Ange has already given themselves away with a stick on the plant. 1 shot's all they need. And Leet will grab a 4th.
What are these rounds? I'm trying to form a coherent thought about some sort of strategy, and right now it feels like we're watching a game of hide and seek being played throughout the map, with Leet deciding to be the hider scattered around and being like, oh, if you're not looking for us in this corner, we're gonna pop out and find a kill. They just were like slowly picking off the Glazers 1 by 1, similar to how Batman would take out a group of thugs, and then they just whittle them down to the point where, with those little guns that they've got, they're able to just win it out. And I don't think that the Glazers are kind of ready for that. Right now, Elite are pushing the advantage, understanding that they might be fragging a little bit better, so don't even give opportunities where the util can be utilized effectively. This time, though, it looks like the Glazers are going to be coming in with a storm. Already, Zach on that high angle.
Looking for the early kill, but Momiji has the close hold. Zachary still wins out the duel, and Precision has the cover fire on Fireball. The Hunter's Fury desperately searching for Zachary, but instead it'll find Precision. And Riku on the lurk can't find anything either, so Lead have a mild shutdown, but with this Viper's Pit, Glazers have a lot of safe space over on B site anyway, enough to get the spike planted and themselves back into main, which is where they'll watch from. Big entry coming from Lead now from the archway, including that null command. Carr gonna get spotted for a microsecond as they'll head to the high ground to take down Drone first and continue watching this entry, which Ange has been coaxed away from. The Viper's Pit's gonna collapse naturally, but Zachary hasn't been confirmed yet, and Ange can still find Yeji. Too much for Carr to watch, maybe not. Able to find Zachary first, and Ange wasn't watching, but instead the snake bites were placed on Spike. No, they missed, and Carr's able to get the last kill. Enough time, enough space for Lead to make it a 5-7 game.
This is going down to the wire every single round. It's just so much chaos onto the site there, but yeah, just a little bit of a misclick on that lineup, and unfortunately, it just doesn't stick to landing. I think that it actually probably would have, probably wouldn't have been enough to be able to deter Carr from getting that full defuse down there, but I really liked that idea, and so this turns out to be a lot closer than we were expecting right now. Leet just down 2 rounds as they swap over now onto the attack, and I think that they might shine a little bit better on this side, especially with how frag heavy they've kind of been relying on their gunplay style. I am curious though how the Glazers are going to be playing things. I imagine it's going to be a little bit more standard and close to a quote-unquote meta that we can expect with these agents coming out onto Breeze. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Just missed that shot.
Yep. Let's chill out a little bit.
A lot of room actually taken by Yeji as well. And I think that most importantly, that is going to be a good amount of space they can just kind of capitalize on. Zachary going for that first swing. It is actually a trade, but Pyro able to survive literally 1 HP. Another call actually gets made to rotate back around to A. A Viper's wall still set up as Ange is just watching the front.
Yikes.
Oh, never mind.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, wow. So clean, man. And Riku can't land anything either.
Spike planted.
I mean, winning everything in isolation is all you really need to do for pistols, so great start for Lead here. And, I mean, buying into this is kind of a given, obviously, but the question is, I mean, how much do Glazers want to come into the second round? How heavy do they want to hold, you know, on these entries?
Yeah, and I mean, Leet, right now, you can tell they're feeling pretty confident. I mean, you start off on such a wrong foot, things are not looking good, and suddenly you can pull it back 7-5, and I think that confidence is showing in the Vandal that Yeji is actually bringing into this next one. Yeji, generally speaking, across the tournament, hasn't been the loudest player, the highest impact player, but I'm very happy that we're finally being able to see them get a little bit more ground, get a little bit more recognition, specifically on this Breeze map. This KO has been doing so much for the squad in kills, but more importantly, in the shutdown of a lot of that utility. And now is Senekar just watching it down as Zachary is just hanging out on that other side just to get that forward position. And Leet, it seems like they're going back to their usual, just slow plays.
Yeah, they don't want anybody to get the drop on them like they did previously. There were a lot of cheeky points in which
No way.
What? I have a lot of questions.
Spray through your smokes. Oh, Yeji able to find yet another one too.
I mean, just calm down a little bit, maybe. Okay, Carr's looking for even more.
One enemy remaining.
Pyro able to find them. And, I mean, pretty done deal here. Zach shouldn't be able to do much. Maybe he can finish off Carr. Okay, good reaction, but so many in his way. I mean, you could swing out for this anytime, but they're probably not gonna. Okay, yeah, they'll find it.
And importantly too there, Yeji actually able to keep that Vandal in hand as well. You know, I take it back. Right now, I am being extremely impressed. Always spray through your smokes, ladies and gentlemen. Always spray through your smokes. And Pyro just kind of holding it down. The momentum has securely swung back around. And just like that, it's all tied up. Elite, they crawl their way back up. The Glazers will be able to buy into this next one, but the weaponry coming in from Elite says that they're not willing to risk this round as well. Let's see how they want to play off of this one. This time around, it's going to be a lot of mid presence being taken. Zachary going to be watching up at top, but once again, now that that tube is open, a little bit more ground to be able to watch over. Camera just scouting things out right now, but it's as slow as ever from both of these squads. Elite finally deciding to make their move a little bit more towards this B side. Gonna be moving up, but once again, hey, Guiding Light not actually finding any information. That's kind of huge coming in from the squad, as now it's gonna be the Owl Drone getting utilized. Oh, Deji.
Oh, okay, the rush back. And Riku is still on the tear. Still looking for one more. No, Karn is now the one on the rampage, but Precision, the rat back. Yeji has the cover though, so shouldn't be too hard. And so
30
Lee
seconds left.
can get this spike down and play off the jiggle peaks that they don't even need to. Ange has nothing more to bring to the table. Lee take the lead.
Oh my goodness. See, that's why you bring flashes, Lee. I know, you've got your strategies, you want to make sure that you're changing it up, but at the same time, it's just a little pop flash around the corner, and it just looked so easy for Yeji. And they're now in the lead. That is 5 rounds in a row that they have gotten. And I don't think that the Glazers were really expecting this level of performance coming out from the squad. Given the history here, they probably expected this to go a lot smoother, and how that first half of the first half was going. Would have expected exactly the same, but now they're sticking to their guns. They don't need Son of Kar to completely clutch up all of these rounds. They're looking for that map number 3. Momiji spotting some info.
Here.
Yeah. It's so slow, but Fireball at least spots some of them out, creeping up forwards, but I wonder if that's enough information for the Glazers to start to realize what is really going on. The Viper's wall does get set up, meaning that this is going to be an A-side hit, and it is going to be the movement forwards here. Son of Kar gets on top, trying to get a couple of bullets into Zachary, is able to do so, but not able to secure the kill. Cyber Cage as well gets utilized just to secure that spike. We actually see Elite back things up, but the Glazers going for this interesting flank back here. This drone is going to be leading the charge. Fireball now looking up, is able to find a headshot there. Looking for a drone, but yet Guiding Light. Excellent timing here. Doesn't matter. Yeji's got their back, and so drone has to back off. And on site, meanwhile, it's just an absolute cleanup. A clinic being put on by Leet. Nothing in sight for them. A flawless round to make sure that Leet are looking at that map number 3. 9-7 now.
This momentum looks really good for Leet at this stage. The rotations look clean, and they've been able to, again, just isolate the members of the Glazers that they need to. It's led to a bit of a weird rotation game that the Glazers have been trying to go for, where like they're not leaning on the shoulders as much. They've been really trying to like fight back from mid and like, I don't know, take backside, but with like zero crossfire or off angle. And I don't know, I feel like Leet are specifically too prepared for that. It feels like Glazers, they need to just give themselves a little more time. Obviously on Breeze that is very, very difficult, but finding those gaps is something necessary clearly against this team. But they'll buy back into it again. Zachary has the op. Riku does still have this neural theft, so they'll be able to get the read earlier on in this round, and that's, I think, where a lot of the action needs to happen.
Yeah, and on top of that, too, I mean, once again, you know, the story of the game for this has been, oh, Leet, Son of Kar, just fragging out of his mind. Oh, my goodness, it's crazy. But now, like, Elite as a squad, they look a lot more prepared here. I mean, they're finding such excellent angles, being able to rely on their utility a little bit more, and still playing unconventionally enough, which is kind of what you would expect from this squad, especially with some of the loadouts that they have, to make sure that they can kind of catch the Glazers off guard. Obviously, that last round, that tended to just be because of a little bit of a weapon difference. But now that things have been evening out, let's see how this goes. Zachary going to be coming in here with an operator in hand, while Elite, they go back to their old tried and true. A 5-person stack slowly making their way up B. Well, there's only a little bit of a Viper at the back there. Snakebite could slow down, but I don't think it will be enough really to completely stop the push.
There's again too much in the way. I mean, where do you even come from?
Oh, that's so cheeky, but Fireball spots that out. No, someone's just around the corner, but now the Cypher can lurk, able to find one, looking for two, just does that, Hero Theft Online.
There's the rest of the squad. So, I feel like, yeah, you just play for exits here. Does Lee go for the chase down? Oh yeah, Fireball wants it.
Oh yeah.
See how many you can find here. Oh, the drone's not looking the right way. There's one. That great spot car, but we'll now have to fight this, especially with Ange on the other side. Oh, nicely done. So a couple picks grabbed in the end.
Stay down.
Yeah, but most importantly they're not able to actually take the operator out of the hands of Zachary. And you know what, that kind of just comes down to
Got it.
not really anticipating Zach to be that good with that operator there. Those angles were just absolutely locked down. And you know, the reason why they go for that chase is Elite feel confident. Their economy is looking fine. They've got more than enough money in their pockets. And worst comes worst, Card does have the Blade Storm ready to go. Moving into this next round, they do have that Hunter's Fury online. What I'm actually more interested in here is if they're able to scoop up that ultimate or give it to Yeji, that's going to be the null command, and that would be a very effective tool to be able to engage into, especially too if they pick this B site where this Viper has been hanging out, where this Cypher is currently hanging out. That would get maximum value for this team. Engagement underway. Already Sunakar goes in with the blades, but it's actually a good shutdown from Riku just hanging out. Crossfire set up. Riku good for 3. 7 HP left. Pyro just around the corner here looking for it. His drone finds the kill. The Glazers, they aren't out of this one just quite yet. They completely shut down all momentum that Elite had barging into that B side.
That goes there.
Now, as we look forwards into this next one, obviously we did see both the Null Command and the Blade Storm get invested by Elite, but you know what? They gotta do what they gotta do. They gotta make sure that they secure that round to really just make sure that the economy of the Glazers doesn't start to get a little bit too rambunctious. If you look at the ultimate economy of the Glazers, they're also very close to getting quite a few of their own online. Most importantly, Ange being able to get one more ultimate orb would secure the Viper's pit. And while Elite, they run it back, they do it again, they make their way onto the site there, the Glazers have to back up. It is just going to be Riku on the back here, but the Cyber Cage making things a little bit more difficult. Respect being completely given over here, as Ange on the flank as well, has to be careful of that. Cypher Wire going to get caught up in the trip as Pyro is able to secure that kill. And the rest of the squad, they completely just back up, leaving 2 on site. Retake from the Glazers is going to be underway. Son of Kara taking a bit of damage here. Fragment zoning that out, making sure that no other opportunities can go. Pop flash around the corner, anti-flash is beautiful from Son of Kar. Zachary now holding down that angle, able to find the pick there. It's down to a 3v3 onto the site. Fireball on and off angle, able to find one. Zach trades it right back. Pyro still has 1 shock bolt left. Time is ticking down, just has to watch these long angles, and just like that, there is simply not enough time to happen. It's going to be Elite walking away with 11 as they're looking phenomenal on this attack thus far. The Glazers, they're not able to pick up a single round. Or actually, sorry, they did get 1 round on this defense, but it's just been Elite blazing the trail ahead. Moving into this next one, things are going to get interesting. The Glazers, 3 ultimates available, a lot of weaponry online. Could be Zachary coming back in with that operator. I need to see a little bit more value come through there. Is going to be a timeout, actually. The Glazers, they're going to be taking their time. Figure out what is going to work. Looking forwards precision. Only needs one more ultimate orb to be able to pick up that null command. Meanwhile, Viper Spit still available for Ange. That could at least temper the momentum that Leet has been going through. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize, as we do have Leet as a squad, and we've seen a little bit more about how they kind of run things through, they want to be able to just try and make Leet uncomfortable. If the Glazers are able to do that, then everything is just going to work out for them. Of course, though, if the Glazers somehow are able to pull things back, and to be fair, previously with their tack timeouts, they've been able to move things through as we start to figure out how things are going. Hopefully, the Glazers will be able to pick things up here after this tack timeout and figure out their strategy. As we're getting some stuff sorted on our backline. Hello, Keg. How are you? I'm doing fantastic.
All right. Hello. So fill me in. I've been watching behind the scenes. I know that we have the emerging Messiah right now coming through on the attacking side. But 11-8 marks. How did we get here?
Honestly, the attack right now from Leet has been phenomenal, and now the Glazers, they feel like they have to add up some of the pressure. Zachary going for a little bit more of an aggressive angle. It's immediately just flashed out, but still going to be okay. Use that 0 point. And yeah, that gets enough information here. Precision going around for the swing. Able to at least take out Son of Car as the null command gets activated. Pyro able to get one. Fireball get another. Precision, though, not leading up for a second. Finds one kill in under a lot of pressure. Able to still find one more, but I think the damage has been done here, Keg.
That's right. Damage has been done now. What will the follow-up be? Riku and we watched them yesterday. They had played so well. But now the Glazers, this is their final chance. They have to make it through the qualifier. We might be looking at OQ2. Now, Pyro does take down Precision, 2v2. Information across the board outside of Ange. Despite all that information, though, Riku, little do they know. Oh, no. The emergence. The Owl Drone, the distraction fireballs there, a blaze of glory. It's going to leave it down to Ange. 30 seconds left on that clock. Spike not to be seen just yet. Hasn't been planted. But look at the journey marks that Ange has to go through.
Yeah, but at this point too, I mean, Leet has been playing so well together. The fact that Fireball and Pyro are still alive, these two agents have been doing a fantastic job at just kind of anchoring things down for the squad. Ange has been doing pretty well, but this is still a tall order. No more snake bites available here, Keg.
I mean, the pressure's on, right? You messed this up. We're looking at 12-8. That could be map 3. That's such a big advantage out of Icebox. They don't want to lose that now. And good for one. The headshot was there, but oh, man, you know, we have Fireball and Pyro. I'm gotta tell you, the Pyrotechnics is right there to bring things to 12.
Yeah, well said. And just like this, I mean, fantastic stuff from Precision on this last round, being able to just really anchor the site. Honestly, the overwhelming presence of Leet made things so much more difficult for the Glazers to be able to hold on to things, but they make it close at least. And that's going to be quite a little bit more economy in their pocket to potentially secure things out. Having a little bit of deja vu onto that first map where the Glazers forward down from potentially tying things up. Let's see if they can kind of do it again. Santa Car immediately spotted out here. Bladestorm gets popped.
Oh, I love that positioning from Car. Good for the first. No, not even Car. Was Yeji there behind the scenes to help him out. Back away, though. Don't want to give anything up just yet. Aggression now from the Glazers. They can't give away too much space marks. But there's no map presence from Leet yet.
And honestly, that's the most interesting thing, because you say there's not that much map presence from Leet, but at the same time on the Glazers side, they don't know what's going on either.
That's right.
So the guess could be whoever's map's control it is, but the numbers very much favor Leet here, and so do the weapons.
See, I'm looking at Precision now, behind the scenes pyramid. Knife in hand, Owl Drone out, should bring out that information. The denial doesn't stop the Owl Drone, but it stops Pyro. Son of Car's already made his way in. The wall is up. Precision, well known behind Pyramid. The corralling of the Glazers needs to come through on A side, but they still have to watch mid. Sure, there's information about A main, but we don't know everything just yet. That wall, though, the saving grace, or could be the doom for one of these teams. First comes out the fragment nade, forcing at least one away. Momji, two. Molly for a Molly. Pyro's there. But all the while, it keeps on going. Hall's no longer in the favor of the Glazers. What can you do if you're on the defense? Ange, the last line of defense. This could be it. Back to map 3. Ange for 3. This is it. The 1v1. The Glazers, they need this final kill to bring things home. No map 3 today. 6 bullets for Ange. The nerves, made of steel, cannot be burnt down by electricity just yet. Pyro, no ult. No utility. Must swing off the call there. So close to reload. The timing, Ange. Be careful now. Recon bolts out. Distraction factor. Still no time. It's ticking. Ange? Oh, not even.
Attackers
So close
win.
yet so far. Pyro's there to save the day.
And I love the little bit of a play that we get to actually see from Pyro there. I mean, obviously, when you get down to those situations, things get a little bit more interesting. You have to be a little bit more careful about how you want to actually play that, but played it to a T. I am so impressed right now by this lead attack. It was, okay, that was real darn good coming in from the squad, especially too when they looked so shaky on the attack.
Yeah, a little shaky on the attack there, but I gotta say, I was watching the matchup before I came in at the last second, and I gotta say, I'm really glad that we saw Leap bring it back. It was even for a while, and I think it was, I want to say it was you towards the end of the first half that was like, okay, let's temper our expectations. It's not looking good for Leap in the beginning, but let's just hold on and see what they can do when the sides swap. And I gotta say, they're a very ferocious team. Also, like, Keg Noir right now. I'm trying to get this light to work.
That's all good. But yeah, I mean, listen, I was ready to be impressed, and consider me impressed with how that went, because that means that we are going to be guaranteed our map number 3, which is actually going to be Lotus, a map that we've already seen Leap play and looked pretty darn good on. So we're going to be throwing to a break, and when we get back, we'll have the decider map. Only one can make their way into Challengers, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you for Lotus.
Face.